Hey, to all the folks on YouTube, the millions and the millions of fans listening all around the world, or maybe the 10, or maybe the 8, or maybe just the one that's listening. But anyway, WWE Evolution, we need to talk about it right now. What a show. The ladies, they went out there and they put on a really good show. And now, this is just my opinion. I feel like this was the best wrestling show of the weekend. I'm not including NXT or Ring of Honor because I did not watch those shows. But when it comes to WWE Saturday Night's Live main event and AEW All In, Evolution was just a better show overall, just with the matches, the flow of the show, and also the outcome. So let's get into it right now. So Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. This was the triple threat match for the women's IC championship. This was actually one of my favorite matches from the show. The just Lyra, Bayley, and Becky, they are just great, and it just so much back and forth action. The match was just so competitive, and they just put it on a show. And at the end, pretty much the finish of this match, Bayley went for her finisher. She hit Lyra with her finisher, and then Becky Lynch rolled up Bayley and she retained her championship. So just a great match. And then the next match, this was JC Jane versus, what is her name? JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. And this was for the NXT Women's Championship. This match was all right. I would say maybe this was like my least favorite match, but I thought overall it was a decent match. And at the end of this match, or the finish of this match, what is her name? Blake Monroe. She hit Blake Monroe. She hit Jordan Grace with the belt, and JC Jane hit her finisher, I believe, that move, whatever flying, I don't know, it was a flying fist or a flying forearm, not really sure. She hit that move, and JC Jane, she retained her championship. Now, I don't watch NXT, so I'm not really familiar, like, with her, with all the finishers and signatures and all that kind of stuff. But yes, it was, like I said, it was a decent match. And this match right here, it was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, and this was for the Women's Tag Team Championship. This was a fun match, a lot that was going on, and it was just really fun. And it was also funny to me because people were chanting for Charlotte Flair, and I can't remember the last time where, like, the majority of the arena seemed like, well, at least watching it on TV, the majority of the fans, they were really rooting for Charlotte Flair. So that was pretty interesting. But I like this match. I thought it was fun. A lot, some really good action, some really good spots. People hit their signatures, their finishers. But at the end, the Judgment Day, they retained their championship. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, they are still the champs. So I really like that match, and I thought they did a great job. This match right here, this was for the women's, WWE Women's Championship. Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton. I really like this match. I thought it was just a really great match. And I know they only went for a little over 8 minutes, but it was just really, it was just good. And people were saying to Trish, the fans were chanting, "You still got it, you still got it." And I'm like, well, we have seen her wrestle, occasionally over the last, I don't know, maybe 4 years, 5 years. And she had a match, I believe she had a match recently this year, or even maybe like sometime last year, and Trish, I mean, she's still good, but I'm like, are you guys paying attention? Have you guys been watching her matches? So I really like this match. At the end, Tiffany Stratton, she hit her finisher, the moonsault, and she got the 1-2-3 on Trish. To me, I know this is supposed to be like, I guess, babyface versus babyface, but Tiffany, she came off very heelish at times during the match. So I'm like, okay, what is that about? So my friend, I was talking to my friend Eric about the show, and he said, I guess she's, an in-betweener or whatever, or a tweener, whatever you call them. Yeah, so this was, it was a good match, and this next match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and they really went at it. This match was a little over 11 minutes. Bianca Belair, she was the special guest referee, and I know a lot of people online were saying, why didn't Bianca, why was she there? She didn't do anything, and I get that, but what I would say about this match, it was fun. It had a good flow to it, and Jade, she hit her finisher, the Jaded, off the turnbuckle through the table, and she got the 1-2-3 on Naomi. And a lot of people were saying, and I don't get this, there's a lot of whatever, I'm not really going to get into that, but just people will just always complain, and I get that we are allowed to give our opinions about things, but with Jay, it just seems like right now a lot of people, this is according to Twitter at least, and I guess people on Twitter, they just complain a lot anyway, but with Jade, people were just coming at her. They said, yeah, Naomi had to carry her through the match, yes, and this, I don't know, it's just too much. Give the lady a break, give her a break. I thought that they both did a good job. And another thing, people were saying that the matches were too short. I feel like the matches, they had a good flow to them. I don't think that, the matches had to be super long. The only match, to me at least, should be the longest is the main event, or if there's a heated rivalry or something like that. But I feel like all the matches, they had a good pace to them, and you don't have to have, every match doesn't have to be 20 minutes or 25 minutes like AEW. So it was a good match. And then this next match right here, this was the Battle Royal. So 20 women, they entered the ring, and the winner, it's going to get a world championship match at Clash in Paris. So this was a really fun match. It was really entertaining. At the end, we had Stephanie Vaquer and Lash Legend, and Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer, she did the whatever thing that she does, the kisses of the devil or whatever it's called. I have no idea. And Lash Legend, that's how she eliminated Lash Legend. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like that move, but I just think it's so silly because she hit it twice in the ring. And how she eliminated Lash Legend, she eliminated her with that the devil's kiss or whatever it's called. So I'm like, listen, if I were, if I had to wrestle, and I'm like, listen, you can't eliminate me with that move. That's come on. That's just silly. Come on, we can't do that. Let's have a different finish. Anything but that move. But yeah, so that was fun. And then Stephanie McMahon came out, and Stephanie Vaquer, she said a few things, in Spanish and also in English. So yes, I'm glad that they're pushing, a new star, or a recent star that's new to WWE, because I know she wrestled all around the world and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I thought that was really entertaining. And now this next match, the main event, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. What a match! What a match they had. They really put in the work. They put in the time. We had counters. We had signatures, finishers. And it was a really good match. It was definitely one of my favorite matches as well. And I know some people will say it's one of the best women's matches. Or maybe, scratch that, one of the best matches of this year. Let's say that. What I would say, I really enjoyed this match, but then when they knocked out the referee, and then when they knocked out the referee, and then when they went into the crowd, I was thinking someone was going to interfere. I thought someone was going to take Rhea Ripley out, and that's how Io Sky was going to retain her championship. That's what I was thinking, because I felt like it went a little too long, maybe a little too long. And then they got back in the ring, and it seemed like Rhea Ripley. It seemed like she was going to she actually I believe she hit her finisher on Io Sky. And I think the referee got knocked out again, I believe. Yeah, there was a second. Yeah, the referee got knocked out again. And then Naomi, her music hit. I'm like, what? Because I didn't think Naomi was going to cash in on Io Sky. I was thinking, and a lot of people, from what I saw online, people were thinking that she was going to cash in at SummerSlam, during the Jade versus Tiffany match. But no, she cashed in at Evolution. She hit Io Sky with the briefcase, and she got the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, WWE Evolution. This was a really good show, and I just think that WWE, they should have done a better job promoting the show, booking the show, and really building this up, because I feel like it could have been something bigger. So yes, great show, great show. Please take care and have a good one.